put this on, but I don't know if y'all know about the Listening Lab. I won't go through the whole spiel, but nonprofit, open up this beautiful space for the public. If you ever come through, any album in here, basically, you can listen to. They do great events weekly. So shout out to the Listening Lab. They've got merch, they've got a donation box. Please help support them so we can continue to do cool stuff like this.
For free.
For free, man, that's right. Speaking of merch, we got our own merch. We got these t-shirts, we got a box of records, and then that's a good time to introduce our guest tonight, who is Blackout, produced this album. Produced 3 of the, give him a round of applause. 3 of the 6 albums we're doing for this listening series, this man had a big hand in. So real honor to have him here. He brought some t-shirts, he brought some CDs, including Movin On, but y'all are gonna have to get the wallets off of that one. As you might know, they don't come cheap, but we do have one in the building.
For sure.
But anyway, that's the basics. That's the gist of it. But we did want to sit down and just, have a quick chit chat before we did the album listening. So once again, man, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate it, man. Awesome. I like it. It's my first time coming in here.
Yeah, I didn't even let you fully take it in before I set you down.
Yeah, I'm still absorbing it. I like it. I was caught up in that.
Right.
Okay. Looking around, speakers,
Yeah.
Nice setup.
We're about to hear what these things can do.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, man,
I like that shirt that brother got on.
I do too. Yeah.
Nobody needs nobody.
Getting made especially for this.
That's what I should have did. I ain't had time though. But I thought that's when he saw it. I was like, I thought of that, but I'm glad somebody did it.
Dig that, man. Well, first things first, I'm guessing everybody in this room, if they don't know a lot about you, they certainly know your music,
Correct.
But let's just give a quick, groundwork about who you are, kind of what artists you've worked with, and how you got into music.
Okay.
This is the big question.
All right. For all that don't know, like you said, I am Blackout. They call me Legendary Blackout. I'm from out here, North Memphis. I grew up over here in North Memphis, and then we moved to Binghamton. I've been into music pretty much all my life. I started producing in high school around 10th, 11th grade, somewhere around there. And met Fly around 11th, 12th grade. He was still with 3-6 at the
Were y'all
time.
classmates?
No, we had a mutual partner. Y'all may have heard of Lenoid.
Mm-hmm.
So Lenoid kind of introduced me to Fly.
Gotcha.
Because they was doing stuff with 3-6 and whatnot. I was doing what I was doing with Snub Nose, Playa Posse, Dream World, stuff like that. All my underground releases. And I left Memphis, came back to Memphis. He had left 3-6, and he was like dissing him and all that.
Right.
And I was like, what's going on? Because I had went to stayed in Mississippi for a while, and I went to Texas. And I got back, everybody was like, man, Fly dissing 3-6. I'm like, what? So long story short, we ended up linking back up after I got back. And that's when I produced his first album, Fly Shit. And some of the beats from that, on that particular CD, I actually did. I was still actually in high school. Like Crowning Me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, that was the first major project I did, but he was featured on some of my underground stuff with Lil Slim, we had a song called Playa Posse.
Right.
And we formed the Playa Posse, and Fly was part of that. But we took it and ran with it because he was, he went from Lil Fly to Playa Fly. So we was working the Playa Fly thing, and I was doing, like I said, I did Fly Shit, Moving On, then The Game on Me, Fly 2K.
4 classes.
Yep, so I did Crowning Me, everybody was feeling that. That was the first one that was kind of big. Then I did Nobody Needs Nobody, that was on Moving On. And The Game on Me and, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. So, man, you were one of the architects of what they call horrorcore now. I don't y'all probably didn't come up with that name, but I don't know if you like that.
Yeah, they was calling it that. See, me, thing about me is I'm an artist, so I go into these different little modes and vibes, you know. So sometimes I'm feeling like that, sometimes I'm feeling like this, sometimes I'm feeling like that. So I was fortunate enough to give that music, you know, like I had my guys I was doing this for. I had my snub nose sound and I had my Playa Fly sound. I actually crafted that sound around Fly. His sound, I critiqued that around what I was feeling, you know. I felt like what he really needed, because, you know, when he was with Paul, and he was, you know, it was dark, he was doing his thing, and I was like, man, this dude got some lyrics, you know, like.
Don't bury it under the mix.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, the stuff he was talking about, you know, it was real street, but it had like this certain prestigiousness to it, like, and he didn't cuss a lot, and a lot of people didn't peep that out. I mean, some people may have did by now, and I was like, bro. So I was just I was giving him these joints, and he was like, yeah, that. So I started running with that, and his pops used to be like, I like that, you know what I'm saying? I'll go there and be at the spot, and he'd be just humming all these melodies over it and tunes and whatnot. I'd be like, it'd be a little off key, but it still it fit a little bit. Yeah, it worked.
So if y'all know the vocalist
You
on
know.
most of Fly's tracks, that was his daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, his actual that was the actual dad, because his dad used to be like in a doo-wop group or something like that, because I used to see the pictures
The Avantis.
when I used to go over there. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and back when he was young and all that, and I was like, oh, okay, and I was like, okay, that's how Fly got, you know, interested in music. Him and his dad had a really great relationship. That's one thing I admired about them. They was like, they had this father and son, brother and, you know, brothers kind of vibe going, but you can still, he respected his dad, and, you know, his dad was real cool. And yeah, he used to listen to the beats and be like, I like that, young man, I like where you're going with that, and speed it up a little bit, do this, do that, and, you know, so.
You got an OG in there helping them.
Yeah, and
That's
so
cool.
I, you know, crafted his sound, so.
Yeah. Well, we are obviously in. We will continue to talk about the album of the night, but I've got my date down here somewhere. We're going to be doing, you've got the classic Dream World. You'll be doing your own listening event, August 14th.
Yep.
I don't know if
So
y'all
you
know the
know more
stereo.
about it than I.
I made sure to write that date down. But WYXR does a series of listening parties. One of Blackout.
My angry kid days. Right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. But that is, I think, widely seen as perhaps the darkest of them. Just to, you know, like I said, this
I
is the
was
focus
vibing.
tonight, but I would love to hear about Dream World and just.
Yeah, I go into it briefly. I was just vibing. I actually started working on that when I was in my last year in high school, and I finished it when I went to Mississippi. And I was inspired. It was a movie called Tales from the Hood. And when I saw that movie, I was like, yeah, that. You know, if you are an artist and you feel me. And I was like, that right there. Because I was trying to find out how do I finish and compile these songs, because a lot of the songs didn't make it to Dream World, and I actually released a Dream World Other Side, the Red album.
Mm-hmm.
And that's doing good online and all that. You know, I did a few tapes or whatever, and it sold out in a week. And yeah, so I was just wanted to marry. I just had this vision, like a dream, where I used to get high and whoop, and I'd be like, man. And when I saw that movie, I was like, now I can finish this album.
Right.
And it helped me finish it. I was just blazing, and we had like this bootleg copy of Tales from the Hood too. That was back when my cousin used to go and get these movies before they even came out. And some of the music that was up on them, and even the music that was actually in the final, it was like these director's cuts. And that's why I sampled like the first part of the tape when it come on, I'm sampling it, but it don't sound like the movie. The actual movie, it's a different version of the movie. And we had a copy of it, and I just was obsessed with that movie. I was like, bro, this is what I'm trying to do, but with this music, you know. And yeah, that's how it came about, and I just went super hard, super grimy with it, and freestyle, let all the anger out, going through a lot as a kid, so that was my outlet. So I guess that's why it resonates almost 30 years later.
It sure does.
I get people hit me up out there like, bro, like I'm still selling the shirts, tapes, the streams, you know.
Oh, it's probably more popular now than 30 years ago. Maybe not locally, but you know,
these
folks.
guys cross seas. It's like,
Yeah,
it's crazy. I'm thankful for it though, because I knew I was on to something. So my homeboys would be like, man, what is all this? I'd be like, bro,
Just wait.
You ain't feeling it, bro. Like, let me vibe. So that was my outlet for that, and then to make stuff a little more palatable for people's ear and vibe. That's when I was doing like the snub nose, the Playa Fly.
Yeah.
My brother Terror, I kind of kept that a little midways. Gangsta Black, I kept that a little midways. You know, musical, kind of grimy. Cause I did like Gangsta Blacks, I'm the gangster, that whole joint.
That you can know.
Yeah. So and a lot of other people that I produced for it, a lot of people may or may not heard of. I did a lot of stuff for Grenade Posse. I did some stuff for Skinny Pimp, of course. Right. Yo, God, I work with everybody. Bro.
Yeah. Like I said, we'll be doing the Black album and Kingpin Skinny Pimp album later in the year.
Under the Influence.
Yeah.
That was my first to CD joint. You know, mine, but the first CD I produced was for Fly. The Fly shit.
And y'all stuck together for better part of 8 years.
Yeah. If you go on my IG, you'll see a picture. You go Legendary Blackout on IG, you'll see a picture of me and Fly. Like he was like young with the nappy hair and the gold teeth. Just like, you know what I mean? Like, he was like 17 on that joint.
Yeah, pretty wild.
I've been knowing dude that long.
So what you been up to lately, man? You got anything people should be looking out for? Yeah.
My brother Waco just got out. He did a stretch. One of the original Playa Posse members. We just finished up his project. It's that. We got on them shrooms. We got on that level. We went Marvin Gaye on this. We got locked in the room, and bro, I ain't done shrooms since, but it was for that vibe. There was like, we finished it like in October, top of November-ish.
Gotcha.
So I just been sitting on it,
Cool.
kind of getting it mixed. And I wanted to hit right, sound right, but
You gonna do physical copies, or they're gonna be?
yeah, we gonna do some physicals. We're gonna do the streams. I'm just trying to see how
I hear you.
I'm gonna hit them with first, cause you know we getting the artwork ready for it and putting the finishing touches. Cause I didn't want to go too extra with it. I want it to still sound like the old stuff, but a little polished, but not too polished. Cause I don't like when it's too polished. You know,
Right. Clearly.
Yeah, it's just too. Yeah, it you know, it don't resonate.
Right.
You know, cause even with the plugins, you know, cause I do a lot of studio work nowadays, and I've been noticing these plugins, they trying to emulate the old stuff and the old analog tape gear, you know, cause everybody really want that sound. I mean, I even got a plug-in, it just it take the audio and just warp it and just make it sound like it's distorting on tape, but you know, that's what they want.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've been finished that up. I got a slew of beats I'm finna, you know, hit on. I never really was like an online beat guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I pull up to the studio with the beat pack and just get it, but I've been encouraged to, you know, have a more online presence, so that's what I've been working on. I got my website. We're doing some revisions to the website, blackoutmusic.com.
Write that down.
MUZIK. You can go on there. I just finished up a drum kit. I've been encouraged to put the drum kit out. Everybody been asking me for it.
Yeah.
From Mike Will to, you know, it's amazing some of these people that know about me, bro. I'd be like, wow. Like I met Mike Will, XO, Johnny Giuliani. He was like a famous internet producer back in the Vibe Beats. Man.
I love that they're reaching out.
They show me mad love across sea Japan. I get people like hit me up from. I have to get the translator and copy and paste it because I don't know what these. I'll be like, bro, I'm getting. I mean, you know, I'm thankful, man. I got people. They got my. I don't even have my own tattoo on me. They got like 3 guys. They didn't got my logo tattooed on them, so they send me the pictures. So I'll be like, bro, appreciate
love,
that,
man.
Appreciate
You
that.
deserve it.
And I'm on 96.3 every Saturday from 6 to 8 now. I've been doing it for like 3 months.
Cool.
We had the #1 show for the last 5 weeks, so.
Dig that, man.
Pretty
Congrats.
good stuff, man.
Congrats. All right, last thing, man. we've got the national anthem of Memphis on this album. Let's just. Did you know when you made no? Of course you couldn't have known.
I knew it was good.
You knew it was good,
But man,
you didn't know it was going to take over.
I didn't know I was gonna be in St. Louis and one day it come on and people like, and I'm in Florida and then I'm in all these different parts. I'm like, wow. Like how do they know? Like what? I mean, Mississippi, I would hear, different parts would be down in the Gulf and Jackson and I'd be like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that, but like some of these places I would be at, especially when I went to Atlanta. I went to Atlanta. First time I went on a music trip to Atlanta, it was like, it was pandem. They was like, that's Blackout. The guy who did the player. They was like, bro, I don't even get this back at home. Right. I didn't know how to take it. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, man.
I was like,
I witnessed
you
it
seen
in Atlanta too. Yeah, you would think it was an Atlanta song,
right?
You know what I'm saying? But
man.
I felt like I actually like being a Memphis person and knowing that song and the roots. And when I first had heard this, I was like, yeah, I feel proud. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it go hard like this.
Bro, I was like. Bro, and then the guy got on stage was like, that's the guy who did the beat right there. And I try to talk to everybody, thank you, bro. They were just, I try to show love, because they show me love. So I'll be like, bro, I would just create, man. I didn't realize until I can't, because I just work. I'm a workaholic. That's my thing. I can't, I'm obsessed with it. So I can't even, I'm still like that to this day. I can't sleep. I just create. And I came up for air and I realized, I was like, dang, I did a lot of stuff that people are really, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You mind if we open it up real quick?
Yeah, it's fine, bro.
See, if anybody has questions, feel free to jump in. Otherwise, we can.
I want to know like what the process was of making beats back then, because y'all technology was different. Like
it most definitely was. Still got it right. We be in the studio like 2 hours on one joint, like just tracking it and getting it, And then back then, studio time, it was, it wasn't cheap. That's why you had to have them budgets. But we would, what I would do, cause I was real hood with it, I would just get all the beats together, make the beats, put it on the tape, and I'd be like, I'm finna let Fly hear these joints today. And I'd put about like 10, 12 beats on a joint. And he would, all of them.
It's a double album.
Right, but I'd be like, I know he gonna like, he'd be like, all of them, bro, all of them. Cause I would literally, when I would put them, I'd be like, I want to Fly to hear these, so, and I was right, I wouldn't miss. But he would call me to the studio. I'd show him my little keyboard, my drum machine. I didn't have all the fancy stuff. I just maxed out on what I had and mastered it. I was producing on the same little 2 pieces of equipment for everything I did.
Which drum machine?
All the way up to the Game on Me. That's when I switched to the MPC.
Gotcha.
But I was using the Boss, the R660, and the Korg X3.
Yes.
And we would have to do the track outs. I would plug into the big mixing board, and I would have to solo the sounds. And I can get like 4 drums out of the drum machine at one time. Only 2 sounds, because you just got left, right out of the keyboard. So we plug them chord edges in, and the boring stuff for us, the engineer and the producer, Fly and them come in like a party, Hey, wow, man, y'all got the beat drop, let's get it, woo, 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 woo. I'd be like,
did y'all mix the individual elements, like when you say you tracked
the
out?
engineer. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I would be like Rusty, because that's who did a lot of recording. I'd be like, we good? We're good. I gotta get out of here, bro. You know what I mean? I've been here all day. Because sometimes we'd be the first ones there, the last one to leave. Fly and them, he dropped. They still partying on, you know what I mean? They gone. I'd be like, I want to go with them. But and I was like 17, 18, I would get dropped off. That's before I got my whip, Yeah. My mom dropped me off at the studio. I'd be out there with my little keyboard and drum machine. They'd be like, what? I come in there and plug up. They'd be like, whoa, all of that coming out of that.
It's crazy.
I'd be like, yeah, so. But that was pretty much the process. We had to track everything out, do the track outs and drop individual sounds. We didn't have the luxury of just, what's up, bro? It's good. All right, and we didn't have that luxury. Like, like I walk around with the U.S. back pocket. I got one in my pocket now. These little things right here, I love them, lifesavers, because see, I don't have to carry all this stuff. When I got the MPC, I be loading it, boy. When I start getting more stuff, the bigger, heavier boards.
Right.
Yeah, I had my guys. We carry their stuff in, and just it take me about 10, 15 minutes, gets plugged up, and like I said, the clock is going. So that was the process. No export out stems and USB and put it in there and pull up in Pro Tools. Nah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this real quick, and we can. Now that I'm thinking about it, like we was recording on reels, like the real joint. So that was expensive, and it wasn't all that punch in. You couldn't go. You had to really be good at what you did back in them days, like that. Cause like this whole piece me in Pro Tools joint, I'd be in the studio cross-eyed nowadays, like, bro. Seriously, bro.
I was gonna ask if you preferred the older method to the newer method.
The reason I like to kind of mix them up is because you can't get that feel. That's why a lot of the analog stuff still resonate, because I did research on this, and what I found out was that the energy at the time that's happening in the room actually translate to tape.
That's right.
I didn't know that. I found that out, and I was like, that's probably why. Because you can't get, even if I try to match up some of the tape stuff, like, and put the metronome to it, it's like it's in its own space in the analog world. It doesn't compute the same, so it's more organic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I was wondering who owns this album at this point? Like it's kind of disappeared, like it's not on YouTube anymore. And,
Correct. I get a lot of questions about that. Well, Fly owns it. They did all their paperwork. I didn't know nothing about that stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be totally honest about it. I was just charging cats for beats, and with that situation, it was like, hey, bro, this stuff blow up. We all know, we blow up, we come up together,
Sure.
type thing. So, but I really, I was back then, I was a young cat, and I was charging for the beats.
Good.
Like back then, because, I didn't start on I was like, in high school, I was charging like 100 a beat, and I moved up to 200-300 a beat, and I moved up to 500 a beat, and I moved up to 1,000 a beat.
Back then?
You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, back then I was like 400-500 a beat.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Stuff like that. So like my cats in the hood, they give me 75, 100. They want to record it. That's an extra 50. You know what I mean? But they knew they wasn't getting that. What I was coming with nowhere else. It was this the authentic. Then they would see like a lot of this stuff. I make it right on the spot. Like boom. Get the whole vibe, get the whole feel of whatever going on. Like a lot of cats be like, it's too noisy in here, and woo woo. I like all that. Just keep it going, Long as I can hear what I'm doing, because I need the cat over there shooting dice, and a couple of cats over there getting a couple of pistols around. That's how you hear that in the music. You
That's
feel
right.
me?
Yeah, you're capturing the moment.
But as far as the ownership now, Mr. Young, he owns it. It's his stuff. He likes to put it up, take it down, put it up, take it down. I still get to, present the music, and even like today, like I got all the original files. Like I just pulled up the USB. Like it's a song on Movin On called "We Come to Get a Nigga, but we ain't give."
Yeah.
See, I got that beat in my pocket without him on it.
Nice.
The instrumental
Nice.
that came straight out the board that I made it, because all that beat was all keyboard. I didn't even use drum machine.
If you hadn't found music, what would you be doing?
That's a great question. I don't even want to answer that question. You use your imagination. I grew up in North Memphis, right over here. We moved to Binghamton,
Yes.
single mother home,
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Me and my little brother had to fend, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, music saved my life, bro. I can really say that for real. That ain't no cliche cap. That's
For sure.
Yeah, that saved me.
Yeah.
For sure. That was my therapy. It was everything. When I got that keyboard
Yeah.
and that drum machine, and I found out how to express what I was feeling, like just off the fly, like it was a rap. Like I said, I had all these different sounds. I had that grimy, like the horrorcore thing. I had the snub nose I was doing with my cousin with Juice and the Boys in the Woods and all that. And then, like I said, I had that Playa Fly and that Gangsta Black thing happen. And somewhere in between all that, I just had these miscellaneous styles I would just throw out at different artists. I done did stuff with blues people. I done did rock. I was heavy into heavy metal when I was young, like in my elementary school days, like Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Napalm Death, like all these different, even some of the glam rock. I used to like Poison, a little White Snake in there, a little Guns N' Roses. Yeah, I was on it. All people used to be like, bro, I used to come to school with like Metallica shirts and Nikes, and people be looking at me like. And my brother, when it came back in style, like some years later, my brother was like, bro, I remember you used to do that and used to try. I was like,
once again. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Hey, question. So, have you ever did anything for the Hot Boys? Cash Money Records, like Hot Boys?
no, I have not. My partner, he produces one of my homeboys. His name T-Mix. He used to produce and do stuff with them, but I personally never did.
For sure. All right.
We got time for one last quick one.
Did you work with?
What was that?
You said you worked with some blues as well?
Yeah, back in the days, it was I can't remember these guys. These were some guys, they owned a club out of, they was out of Greensville, Mississippi. They was from down somewhere in Mississippi. And how that happened was that the studio we was recording at, they was up there trying to record with that guy and get him to play these keys and do all this stuff over this blues track. And the guy called me in, because I was listening, I was like asking him, you mind if I think I know what he's talking about. He was like, yeah, like that. I was like, okay. And then he was like, since you did that, can you do what X, Y, and Z? I was like, yeah, you mean like this? And the dude who was making the beat was like, man, well, look, I'll let you just get this money, man. You do that, right? And then the guys actually got like 2 joints from me. I charged them guys like $800. And that was like a long time. Yep. I was like, and I was just, that was off the fly. And then after that, the latest blues type of track I did was this guy called Bowleg Fred. You can find it on YouTube, but he's from Memphis. Cause they getting into like this whole King, whatever this guy name is. What's
Kingfish.
No, not King. It's the other guy.
King George.
Him.
Yeah.
That guy right there. Yeah, and people know I can anything I can hear, I can recreate. So I get it. That's why if you notice on some of the fly joints, a lot of the remakes I was doing, I was playing them outright. I wasn't doing no sampling.
Right.
Like with the Minute Maid Mafia all day, it's the Curtis Mayfield and the Parliament joint. The You Ain't Heard No Uncle Fly Shit is the best. That was the I did the Love to Hate. That was the Bill Withers joint. I used to actually like that song. So when he asked me could I remake it, I was like, oh, I've been wanting to redo this anyways. But stuff like that. But yeah, but to answer, I can't remember exactly the name of those guys, but it's just I just do so much stuff for so many people. I did a guy named Hunter. I just did like this country and western trappy thing. He was dope. He came in with his guitar. He was dope, bro.
That's
I just
cool.
put the beat up under it and yep. So.
Right on, man. You gonna stay to the end?
No,
Hang
man,
out with
I'm
us?
hanging, man. We good, bro.
Well, let's get it started, y'all. Once again, give Blackout a big hand. Please.
Thank y'all for listening to me.
Yeah, he's gonna stick around with us to the end. So let's get into the album, and then once again, each of us, Shangri-La, Blackout, we both, and Memphis Listening Lab, we all got merch, music. So stick around, meet us outside after the album, and enjoy. Thanks again, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear this.
Me too.